What is up, everybody? Brian Tong here in this lovely studio here at Adobe's offices out in San Jose. I'm joined with Mike Polner. He is the VP of Product Marketing for Creators. Did I get that right?
You nailed it.
I nailed it. Okay, that's always the hard part. What does that title actually mean?
Yeah, great question. It's great to be here. It's great to meet you here in the Adobe Creator Studio.
That's right.
I oversee product marketing for the Creator products, which are Lightroom Mobile, Firefly, Photoshop Mobile, and then very importantly today, Premiere Mobile.
That is what we're here to talk about. I want to let people know because whenever they see our videos, they're like, "Oh, is this sponsored? What is this?"
Yeah.
This is not sponsored. I flew out here on my own to talk to Adobe. This is a really cool exclusive opportunity to talk about the launch of Premiere Mobile. I got to ask you any questions I want. You better be ready for that.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we are. But just to give a little bit of a background for you and maybe my audience, just my journey with Adobe. Okay, so I went to San Jose State University, just 3 or 4 blocks away from here. So I'm like, oh, that's where I went to school. And my first class in graphic design was with Adobe InDesign. Ooh. Then it was like the gateway drug to Photoshop. Back in the day, I had to learn. I didn't want to learn code to make a website, so I got Adobe Go Live. I always bought the books, so I'm like, I don't really want to assume I know everything, and built my website from scratch. Learned how to do rollovers and images. When the mouse goes over, it changes. And so I've been an Adobe person since then. So, geez, we're talking about 20 plus years. So you got me in your ecosystem.
You're
for
hooked.
Sure.
You're hooked.
I'm hooked. So I'm authentic, as they like to say. But yeah, I still use Premiere as my main video editor, and people that watch the content on my channel, it's all Premiere stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get you on Premiere Mobile now.
Yes.
Coming, available now is the big one. So excited about that.
So we want to talk about this Adobe Premiere Mobile, right? This is your first venture for a mobile video editing app in this new era of the creator. So obviously I think the first question that people and myself are wondering is why now, and what got you to do this, to start this journey?
Yeah. I think that the first thing I would say is more and more creation is happening on the phone. Vertical video, mobile video, you have the power of a camera directly in your iPhone or Android device, and 15, 20 years ago, you didn't have that capability. So obviously, I think today, creators are increasingly looking for the power of a desktop product available in a mobile device. So I'm really excited about Premiere Mobile. I think it's a great way to be able to go and create video, edit, share all in one place in the new mobile app.
It's funny because I'm not here to upsell your product. I'm here as a curious user, but I think there's a whole lot more than it's, as an editing app. I mean, we're talking about, from what I've played with, I've been able to layer at least 10 layers of video, which is more than anyone, quote unquote, needs on a mobile app. But you have the power of these phones. This is from what I know, right? It's rolling out on iOS first, right? Coming to Android later.
That's right.
But as of today, you can go out, download it, just check it out for yourself. It is also a free app.
It is a free app. That's right. Yeah, free to use. I love that you had 10 layers of editing. I think that's great.
You got to really see what this is capable of, if there's going to be much lag, how the handles operate. I mean, that's important.
Yeah. I think the multi-track timeline editor, from all the conversations we've had with creators, that is one of the biggest things that they've been asking for. And I think, the product does a great job at that. So I'm curious how your experience was, but I love, 10 layers, adding sound, audio, video, all that together. I think that's like the core of what we've been building this product around. And it's great to hear that you and other creators are going to be using that.
I do want to touch upon, you talk about creators, right? This is a space. I don't want to say it's an industry, but it has really transformed that, where you look at young people, my nieces and nephews, even younger, what do they want to be when they grow up?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like a firefighter, astronaut, maybe a celebrity.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, now they use the word loosely, YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
Content creator.
Yeah.
And so this is your entry into that space. Now, I'm going to be transparent and talk about that there are other editing apps on mobile in the space. There's CapCut, there's Edits. So where do you see you all fitting in this space from a feature standpoint, from an ecosystem standpoint?
Yeah.
How are you looking to kind of get into this space?
Yeah, our top priority is serving these creators that you're mentioning. And I think there are a couple ways that we're doing this. I think the very first one is Premiere Mobile, coming out right now, is a great fast, intuitive, and powerful mobile video editor. The same people who are starting on Premiere Desktop, you get that same level of pro quality control and polish, but without all that complexity that you need with a desktop editor. So I think that's one part. I think the second part is, as you mentioned, that multi-track timeline editor is really powerful. It's also very clear. It's very clean. You can focus on the job that you're trying to do. So I think that's a huge, huge benefit that we're hearing from creators. Then I think the last part is the studio quality audio and sound that really comes across in the product. You can enhance your speech. You can generate new music. There's actually quite a lot of power and capability there. So with those three things together, I think Premiere Mobile is a really great product for creators.
The other thing that let's maybe dive in a little bit about some of these features that really make this unique. And whenever I'm picking up a product, it has to be easy to use, fast and light, but just as versatile. And someone who's been a long-time Premiere user on the desktop, I think of this as, look, I might be the old guy in the room where I still edit on my desktop, and I actually want to edit more on mobile, but I haven't felt that there was the product that spoke to me. And now the fact that this is all in the ecosystem that I play in, this is really interesting. But what I think is more interesting, and I want to talk to people about this, is okay, it is set up on your phone, vertical format for editing, but you have the ability to edit both landscape and portrait video formats. All right, full quality from everything I've seen. All video codecs, whether you're shooting in log or raw, are compatible with this. So for people that are pro level users, we know how incredible. I mean, iPhones are replacing broadcast cameras in certain situations now. So and film cinema cameras. And so the horsepower is pretty insane. Is that, maybe might I ask, iOS, was that targeted because of maybe Apple's silicon and the power it has to kind of, as the first entry to push forward? Because we know it's some of the most powerful silicon specifically for multimedia use. Yeah.
So I think there are a couple parts to this. I think the very first one is, we're starting on iOS. I think this is where a lot of creators are today. They're shooting with the, great Apple camera, as you just mentioned. I saw you had the 17. I know we talked about that very briefly.
I might
if you're making a plug for your
Can you
videos,
see this? You can't. It's because it's the air. It's so thin. This is not an ad. Hashtag not sponsored. But yes, I mean this has all the power that I still need to run this. That's what I tested the app on.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of why we're starting on iOS. It's an incredible place. It's where creators are, and really that's where we want to be. We've been on the desktop, we've been on web. Now we're on mobile increasingly because that's where creators are spending their time. So I think we wake up every day. I wake up certainly every day, and I think about how do I make today the best day to be a creator? Because there's so much there are so many tools, there's so much technology that you have in the power of your hand, and it's a really pretty amazing time to be creating.
Okay, so you talk about power in your hand. We have got to talk about the generative features in this. Okay, so some people might hear, oh, generative AI, what is that really going to do for me? So I'm going to talk this through, and you can say yes, Brian, you're right, or not, because I played with this. So one of the cool features, you talked about, you can put music tracks, voice tracks, there's, captions, there's stuff that we expect. But creating sound effects using generative audio. So let me explain this, okay? So for example, I did a shot where I was walking around in the morning. If I wanted to create a rooster in the morning, you essentially choose this generative audio effect. I then record in the app. I can go, but then the app does its magic and takes an actual rooster, mimics the cadence, the rhythm of how I made that sound effect, and then gives me 4 different versions of a rooster that sounds like a real freaking rooster.
Yes.
I did an explosion with glass shattering where I'm like, boom, and so this is, you're almost like giving people a Foley studio in their phone. And this, people like kind of the corny, gaggy sound sometimes where they do like a quick snap zoom. That I really thought that was pretty freaking impressive and something creators would actually use. Yeah.
100%. I think it's super cool as well. It's kind of fun also to be out there and going, I think you're playing with it, but you're able to time the sound effects directly with the video, which I think is really, really powerful. And then I think on top of that, when you're shooting video or you're taking an image and you're animating that image into a video, you don't always have the sound that you're looking for. So I think with, the ability to go and generate that sound effect, it's very powerful. It gives you a lot of customization in the capability that you're looking for. And then the sound quality is great. So you can pick through the 4 roosters, you can pick through the 4 glass shatterers, whatever it is, and pick the exact audio that you need for your video.
I just love it I could imagine I am still young, young Brian being someone who loved to play with video. It wasn't accessible to them at that age. A camera back then, just like a little mini DV Sony camera, cost like $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah.
This is a phone. You could be a young person with a $700 phone.
Yeah.
That could do this a full production studio. I mean, that is the power of how technology has changed, which is incredible. I also want to talk about, and maybe you can help break this down for me a little bit as well, taking a still image and writing a description to animate that image. Okay, so at first I was like, let's see what this looks like, right? I had a picture, me and my friend, and I said, make us dance. And it created a 5-second clip of us actually dancing. Like, my buddy John looked at it at the same time. We're like, whoa, 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 right? And the thing is that this is usable stuff. The background, it's as if someone took a camera and was there for 5 seconds and told me to dance. I saw one where someone said, hey, turn around and climb a wall. And it turned the wall like rock climbing pegs. And they did it. And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of wild because you're taking the existing frames. And people like to have fun and do goofy stuff with video, specifically on mobile. And so this is another generative feature. I saw it took credits. Is it something that are limited, or you have to be a subscriber to really take advantage of this feature more often than not?
Yeah, so I think the very first part is, I love the image to video animation. I did the same thing. Last night I had a still photo from outside of a plane, one of those like plane windows where you take a beautiful photo. But I was trying to bring in a video, and I was like, oh, it would be great if this were actually the first scene that was an animated me flying in the plane, So it just really simply, I was like, make the plane fly. You can see the sky moving, clouds moving. So it was a really great way to highlight that use case. And then, of course, if you're a subscriber today, or if you're trying to use any of our generative capabilities, like you have all that access and even more. So the core element of what we were trying to do is make Premiere Mobile just a great product that you can use for free. You can generate image, video, audio, and just create great, amazing video very, very simply.
I'm going to ask you this and kind of put you a little bit on the spot, but I think it's important for the audience to hear. What do you think someone's watching this, and let's say they've been using other apps right now. What is maybe one of the compelling arguments, or say why they should try this, or what are some of the challenges that you feel you guys have entering the market to make this a product that, look, I'm sold because I'm part of the Adobe ecosystem. I'm an OG, right? But I also think of people that are not me, right? So what is the compelling reason that you're looking to sell them on this product to jump in, and because it's free. That's the beauty of it. It's free to start.
Yeah. So my first 2 weeks in this job, I went to VidCon and I talked to dozens and dozens of creators. And actually, one of the things that I heard again and again was, hey, when are you going to be launching Premiere on mobile? When are you giving me the same studio quality desktop tools available on my phone? Because I'm increasingly on my phone. And I think that's what we've done. That's what we're doing. And that allows, this like lightning fast, clear, focused, multi-track timeline editor, the studio quality sound, and then just a really clear, uncluttered experience. Like you're trying to make great video on your phone, Premiere Mobile is a great place to do it.
Yeah, I think one of the things is you and I are talking about it, and ultimately people have to just download it and try. And I think they'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Whether it's generative stickers that you can add and cool titles and things like that. When I'm also using this app, I feel like the cool thing is, and you do have to be part of the Creative Cloud, I believe, but I can take this project that I have on my phone and then upload it and then complete it or finish it or fine tune it or tweak it on desktop, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that was another one of the core insights that came up from all those conversations. People were like, hey, I love the family of mobile apps. I love the desktop tools. Like, can these two things like work with each other? This would be really powerful. So I think with Premiere Mobile is a great way. You can start that project, you can shoot video, you can stitch it all together, and then you can send it to Premiere Desktop and have a big old screen to go and edit the way you want.
Yeah, I mean, I like that because I'm just gonna send that to my editor. I'm like, John, clean this bad boy up. I do edit myself though, for the record. For
You
the
can do
record,
it on the phone too.
Yes, yeah, you can do it on. I mean,
That's right.
the whole point is what's interesting is there is not a generation. It's not even. I don't even want to say a generation. Creators are just using their phone and not going anywhere else, and that is the whole point of this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that's why, I mean, to me, there are different modes that you're trying to edit and create in. You know, one of them is you can open up your camera on your phone, which is with you all the time. You can capture an amazing moment, or you can just record yourself in the morning getting ready or whatever, you know, podcast, whatever it is. And that phone is with you all the time. So you're able to create great, amazing video. You can also do that and sit down at the desktop and, you know, be all ready to go and, you know, edit on a big screen. I think no matter how you're creating, no matter how you're editing that video, we want to be there for a creator. And that's desktop, web, mobile.
I think one question I'm also going to kind of throw out at you, a big thing on social, right? And everyone has their own platforms is trending audio, right? Like we all, there's, and this is obviously technically off platform. Have you guys thought or considered how maybe incorporating trending audio can be a part of this? You know, I'm already giving you feedback.
Yeah.
You're like, Brian, do you really want feedback? Like, you know, so as a user, because that is important, have you thought of ways to maybe that's something in the future? Or what are you thinking of when it comes to trending audio? I think every creator is thinking that. Like, what's the trending audio?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, like I think we were talking, it's so important to be hearing from creators, and I've heard a lot from creators and what they want. And yeah, I think Premiere Mobile right now, the audio that we have, the sound effects, like that is a really great start. Obviously, we have a long list of things we want to continue to add, audio, video. I mean, there's so much more we can do here. So I'm excited about all that we're building, but really, I think what's most important is right now you can jump right in the product. You have access to music. You have access to audio. You know, there's that great multi-track timeline editor. It's a really uncluttered experience. So I think there's a lot that you can do just day zero and get in and get cracking.
Are there get a crack-a-lack?
Get cracking.
Are there any features? Maybe I mean, there's so many, but any ones that maybe come to mind? They're like, Brian. I'm not telling you I want to talk about this, but I do kind of want to bring this up. Is there any feature that are like, hey, you should, or maybe tell me like you should check this out?
Yeah, the most important thing is, you know, when I mentioned that we want to be able to serve all creators everywhere, we also recognize that while we're starting on iOS, you know, a lot of people still use Android. I'm really excited about also our Android app that we'll be, you know, working on too, and make sure that serves all the creators, whether you're on iOS, Android, desktop, web, anywhere.
Can I put you on the spot? Is this something we'll see by the end of this year? I'm giving you a few months, or are we saying maybe looking at 2026? I'm not asking for a specific month, but where are we at with that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be coming as soon as possible. So
very good, very good
sure
answer. No, that's great. The other question, like you talked about but any other specific feature, like you talked about Android, but like app feature, like that you think I should pay attention to or just kind of dabble with? Yeah,
I think I would actually almost kind of flip this if I can, and I'd be curious what else I know you've been using Premiere Mobile.
I do have a little bit of feedback just from, I think, this is really nerdy, but you do have captions, which is great. And there's multi-layers of video. What I did find is when I say, you know, add captions to my video, let's say I have like 3 layers of video here, 2 layers here, and 1. I'd like the caption to actually be on its own layer. It drops down to kind of be on top of the latest. So I personally would love if you guys could just make the caption its own layer on top so it doesn't interrupt if I want to put other videos in there. That's a small thing, but I think it's something that you could easily do.
Totally.
The app itself does 99.9% of what I need and then some. I think the other thing is I know instantly I see this app, I would love to use this app on an iPad, and I know you can at least double the size. It's made, look, the reality is this is made for the social media, vertical phone content generation. It does do landscape, but I do like the idea of knowing that maybe I could turn it sideways and have a little bit of a larger timeline. Right now it is iOS, so my brain is saying, well, there's no iPad OS version yet. Have you considered that
Yeah.
as you say,
Yeah. It was great feedback.
Yeah, those are just
Yeah.
things that come off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think the feedback, like I said, the most important thing is just building with creators. And that's why, even before this, I was mentioning, that's why I love being able to do this work with creators, because you're talking with creators, you're building with creators, you're partnering with creators, and everybody has a great opinion and can share that feedback. So, to me, that's what's most important, is like continuing to listen to the creator community, continuing to hear what people are saying. And I really, like I said, love chatting and hearing about all the things we can do better. And also, once in a while, it's great to hear that it's like, okay, it does a lot of this, like it hits the core use cases. And it is a really amazing product that I'm super proud of and excited to be getting in the hands of a lot of creators everywhere.
I think also this is really serving a generation that has not been using Premiere before, right? That it offers something more. When I think of my nieces and nephews, they're like, oh, like literally they'll be like, what's Premiere? And then they can see that I can do so much on a desktop, but their minds are not connected to Premiere from a mobile perspective, right? And I think it is important for you guys to get out there. This is not something that happens overnight. This is like, right, you build off this year, getting it out, then you add more features, you get the buzz going, and then, right, then maybe it changes people's mind, like, oh, damn, like I can do a lot of things. So I see like where the road is going, and I think it's great because there's a lot of other companies that wish they had a mobile app that still aren't in this space. So I think I'm curious, it's not like you're going to drop all these new feature reels, but how are you looking at this in the future now, right? You've set this down. Where are you thinking next?
Yeah, I think there are a couple pieces. I think the very first one is once a product is in market and people are using it, like you said, there's a long list of ideas on things that we want to continue to be investing in to make it better, faster, doubling down on things that people love, and then also finding new things that people also want to discover. I think the multi-track timeline editor, the AI, powered sound effects, that those are really the things we're hearing in the early conversations. I want to just continue focusing on that. And then I think moving forward, it's just really listening to the creator community and hearing the things that people love, and then also the coming soons that people.
Mike, I've heard that. Yeah. Can you give me a little? Is it in audio? Is it in video? Where just a little teaser, right, for everyone. Yeah. People are watching, like, come on, throw us a bone.
Yeah, I think that I would really just go back to saying again.
All right.
The core value prop. Yeah.
This is hey. I appreciate this. I mean, the reality is that this app out of the gates is more than I expected. Yeah. Right. I think as someone who heard you were doing a mobile app, I was like, okay, it'll be a basic editor. It'll have the fundamental things, but I really think it has the fundamental things and then some. So I'm excited to see how you build and really take this on the field for myself. I will say, as someone who has an iPad, not only people are shrinking to their phone, but people do have that tablet. I know it's an investment in resources, but that's something that, maybe it's just changing the layout a little and just blowing it up. Even that would be good, but I'm having a great time with it so far. And, generative sound effects, y'all. Yeah. It's actually crazy. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I've had a great time with it. So thank you so much for having me, Mike. This has been great. And for everyone that's watching, like they've said and we've said here, the Premiere mobile app is available on iOS today. It's going to be rolling out through the App Store, and we'll be looking forward to the Android version.
Coming soon.
That's it. That's it from the Adobe Creative Studio. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it, bro.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.